Well, hello, everybody, and this is Auntie, and we're going to talk all things 90 Day, The Last Resort, Season 3, Episode 1, Last Chance for a Fairy Tale.
A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, and my nieces and nephews, and all of y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for auntie to rise. Sweet old. It's time for auntie to rise. It's time for auntie to
Well, welcome back, everybody. Y'all, was this show a triple what? This seems to never end. We are back at Season 3 of The Last Resort. And for some of these couples, their tea has already spilled. So I guess we're just going through the formalities of it all. I don't know. But one of the things that I noticed is that Jenny had to come forward and tell us what was going on with her, because we are hearing um all of the slurs, the slow talking. We're hearing all of that. So it would have been, if had they not come forward with the truth of her condition and what's going on with her, we would have been having a fit. There would have been so many speculations and everything going on. The 90 Day Fiance family, they had to come forward. She had to come forward because you could just hear it. And it is a really sad state of affairs. It really is. They have some interesting casts. I did not have an opportunity to put the pictures up. But we here and we're gonna talk about it as we talk about it. Okay, y'all. Please forgive me for not having them. Hey, see Becky down in the corner like I usually do, but I'll make sure I have them during the next episode when we cover the next episode. So the couple that I want to talk about is Jenny and Sumit. Sumit is, and Jenny arrived to the castle and they wanna, he wants to try out the bed. She's like, we don't have mom and dad there. And Jenny is ready to get it on without the ears and the noise of the household. Smith came out and indicated that, they had the cafe. And I had said very early on that the cafe was closed, that I had gotten some information, a scoop, if you will, that cafe was open. Some people were still talking about that it was open, and I knew that it wasn't. Well, they have finally admitted that it is closed. Jenny said it was really hard. Of course, we know Jenny couldn't even make the coffee. And so, the two of them are there to kind of work out their relationship. Sumit feels very controlled by Jenny, and you can absolutely see where he is being controlled by Jenny. We'll talk about that later on, but you can absolutely see it. I don't know why I did not remember that they were 30 years apart from one another. Because Jenny is did Jenny say 66, 67? And Submit's like 36, 37. And I don't know why I didn't remember that there's a 30-year age difference between the two of them, which is why I think that Jenny has that tendency of being semi mama. Okay, or acting like she's a somebody mama. The next couple that we have on here is China and Sauper, and the two of them, are vying for power. Some Sauper, of course, having to come over here to the United States, took a lot of stuff off of Shekinah as far as her controlling and running everything and all that. And and Shekinah was used to being the boss in charge. Now Sauper has his own career. I think he has his green card. And she said that he is using her as his material. Now Sauper said that most comedians use their wives and stuff. No, they don't. No, they don't. If you go and see a really good comedian, they don't have to drag their family. Matter of fact, they want to keep that private, right? And so he's just using it because he doesn't have any other material. So it is a push and a pull with their relationship where she kind of wants to be in charge, except for when she wants to be the damsel in distress. And it is so stressful watching them. It really is. Kara and get it together. You know how to pronounce his name. Guillermo. Why they there? There is nothing going on in their relationship whatsoever. Like nothing. Why are they here and wasting our time? Like they wasting our time and everybody else's. Rebecca and Zed. She wants to be controlling. I think well, no, I'm just not attracted to younger men. But for this very reason, I could never find myself dating someone who was significantly younger than myself. I've never dated a guy younger than myself. I've always dated the guys. That's what I've always preferred. But honey, looking at them, I would never do it. Patrick and child Thais. I always say her name wrong. He thinks she's cheating. She just don't love the man no more. Simple as that. And Paola and Russ. So they all get to the castle. They are, in all over it. Um, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So we see all of them come in, stuff like that. I'm not really interested to. I just kind of go through it. But I noticed that, there was some signs of things showing even when they were preparing to go out and meet the other couples. I guess they went down to a neighborhood restaurant or pub so that they could all eat and meet the other cast members and stuff. I don't know why they didn't just have something at the castle, but okay. And so, they start coming in. Shekinah and Sauper. Who was there first? I think it was them that was there first. Was it them that was there first? It don't make a difference. They get into the couple start coming in and all of that kind of stuff. They're saying, a lot of them are like, oh my God, Paola and Russ, they are season one old heads and stuff like that. So, they fangirling off of each other, right? And so they just as excited as seeing each other as, like a regular Joe Schmo. And so they're ready to see them. Sauper comes in, Patrick and Thais. What is Thais? Is that it, y'all? I don't know. I cannot pronounce her damn name for nothing. So I'm gonna say T. So they come in and everything, and both Shekinah and Sauper have a bone to pick with them. So after everybody, is generally there, Shekinah goes at Lady T. And she says that she confronts her. So they all sitting at the table. And Lady T is having problems with her eyelashes. So she kind of was like, I got something, can I help you with your eyelashes and whatever? She said, you need some eyelash glue. So she takes the eyelash glue off, and she says, yeah, you and I used to talk about, makeup and everything. And so yeah, and so Lady T was like, oh, okay, yeah, we sure did, yeah, we sure did. And so she's hitting at the fact that they don't talk on Instagram anymore. And so she puts the eyelash on and she goes on. Jenny comes in, Jenny and Sumit come in, and everybody's talking about how short they are. So, especially Sumit, right? They like he a little man, right? And you can tell that he's a little man, okay? And that Jenny. So when Jenny comes in, she says something about, Paola's dress, which I thought was inappropriate. And I was like, that just kind of showed Jenny's age, because she said, I'm going to be hot, or I'm going, looking at you, whatever. She was making, a comment about what the girl had on and how little she had on. But that is who she is, right? And so it's so small talk at first. So Jenny comes in, like I said, she kind of is, fangirling over Jenny and all of that. Jenny is slow talking and slow walking at the point. And I'm sure that everybody is sitting around kind of figuring that, there's some going on right now with Jenny, right? Because I know if I was at the table and she was slow talking like that, I'd be like, the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying? You know how you had that smile, but behind the smile, you'd be like, that's how I would have been. But anyway, so they fangirl, and so she kind of decides that she wants to wait a minute, hold on, let me go back. Rebecca is so daggone insecure about Zed that she told him, let me see where your buttons are on your shirt. Do you got it buttoned all the way down? Well, Sauper's shirt was buttoned all the way down, was unbuttoned all the way down to his belly button. But she's saying that, basically he's looking for women. How are you going to be looking for women with this cast of people? These people are not going to mix and mingle with cast members. But you can see her insecurity. Now, we all know she had weight loss surgery, and now she look like she done gained the weight back. So maybe that's part of what is happening with her. I don't know, but girl, chill out. So anyway, she kind of decides that she wants to go back and she wants to say something to Lady T about her unfollowing her or blocking her on social media. So she was like, we used to talk and everything, but I got a request that came up saying, do you want to be friends with her? And she was like, do you want to follow her? And she was like, I'm already following her. So she said something to Lady T about it, and she was like, okay, and like I would have been. Like I'm paying attention to who I'm following, who I'm not following. I have quite a few people on YouTube. Just the other day when we were live, someone came in the comment section and said, YouTube unsubscribed me. Now I've heard rumors and I've heard people saying, things about people being unsubscribed. But I don't pay any attention to it, right? Unless you hit me up and you in the membership and you're not green anymore or something like that. Most people don't hit me up and say, Auntie, I'm unsubscribed from your channel. If you unsubscribe from my channel, right, it's because I purposely did it. Instagram, I don't pay any attention to Instagram. Like I don't. Maybe I should, but I don't. So if somebody wasn't there anymore or I inadvertently blocked them, I'm not gonna pay attention to that because that's not the main platform that I'm on. Not to say that Lady T wasn't lying about it, because you probably did block her for one reason or another. But guess what? At the end of the day, this is real life. We ain't talking about social media. People care that much about social media. So she, Ty was like, girl, I don't know. I don't know what happened. She was like, you do know what happened. That patty her get a bone in the girl's face because she's no longer following her and they no longer following each other. So Ty saying, do you got any proof that I unfollowed you? And she was like, you unfollow me and that's something you do on purpose, so she's mad about it. Yeah, I blocked you. Okay, and what now? Even if I hadn't, just the nerve of you to come in and say something to me about that with your grown ass. You sitting in here like I do, you got bigger problems that you need to be solving. You in my damn face over a daggone follow and a unfollow? Are you fucking serious? I don't even know how many people unfollow me. All of y'all on here, in my humble opinion, are has-beens. We don't have time for this daggone foolishness. She decides to bring it out at the table. She mad because Salpa said, let me get up and walk out of here. Because he knows that this is so immature. Patrick is like, trying to cover her, but she kind of wants to be worshipped and adored. Girl, sit down. I think that this show is going to not, it's going to show us the bullshit. The only thing that concerned me at the table, okay, so then Sarper approaches Patrick and says, I got a problem with you. Can I speak with you? Pulls him to the side and he tells him that he said something about his ears. So Patrick was like, ain't, I mean, I ain't mean to offend you, but I got a little head and my ears match mine. You got a big head and you got big ears. Yeah, I said it. Okay, and what? Didn't mean to offend you about it. I was doing commentary on the show. I was asked by a cast member, and I just said he got the biggest ears I've ever seen. Okay, you do. Soper wants to get physical about it, but he been messed around. Patrick said, I got 41 pounds on him. 41 pounds. I know I can probably take him out. Soper's too old to be fighting in the street with Patrick. Patrick, like this is a like oh my god, this show is going to be very hard. This is going to be difficult to cover because it's so fucking patty. This is so patty because Kara, instead of dealing with her relationship with her husband, she wants to go and eavesdrop on what's going on between Shekinah and Thaisa. Like, who gives a Thais, Lady T? This is stupid. Okay, so everybody having a good time. They getting to know each other. Nickname Petty Red, give a dog a bone. And they're giving Sumit drinks. Jenny is concerned that Sumit is going to get stupid drunk. So a drink is giving him a shot. She said, no, 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 no. I don't want you to drink. I don't want you to get drunk. So he like, I'm not even drunk yet. He's one of those type of people that drink to get drunk. When I drink, and I get a little buzz, I'm stopping, right? Because I automatically know that my drink of preference is vodka. That, depending on what you got on your belly, is gonna go to your head quickly. Once I feel a little schmidget of a buzz, I'm done. But I love like vodka with like fruit in it. Oh my God, especially watermelon. Because for some reason the watermelon has its own juice and then it absorbs the vodka. I drink very, very little, right? It has to really be something for me to drink. Outside of that, I don't drink. But I'm telling you, I just was like, okay, Jenny, this is something that you pull your man to the side. I truly believe in respect, and I believe in respecting my partner. And if my partner has a problem, so it appears that Jenny did try to have a conversation with Sumit before they got there, right? So that he would not be sitting there all drunk. He gets there, he's around the boy. He is one of those type of men that believes drinking means drinking is equal to having fun. Well, it's not fun for all of the people who are around observing, especially your wife. So Jenny, when asked about, supper, asking was there an incident or something like that that has happened that has caused you to act like this? And she said, yes, he's been running into walls, falling out, just doing the most, just intoxicated, right? And but I didn't like that Jenny did it in front of everybody because it drew attention to the situation at hand. And I don't think that couples should embarrass themselves in public, right? Unless you just can't help it or something pop off. I think that things like this should be kept amongst the couple. Jenny should have gently pulled Sumit to the side, but it seems like Sumit was already in a headspace where he wanted to be partying and he was looking forward to getting drunk. So maybe it was a situation where she tried to and could not do it because even when she went outside with him, he went to the your boss here controlling. But Jenny said, we already had this conversation and you're doing exactly what I asked you not to do. Sumit feels like, he has his mother down his back and now Jenny's down his back. And so he feels like he has two mothers. Well, guess what? That's what happens when you're number one, you're irresponsible with drinking. And number two, you marry a woman 30 years your senior. She is going to be a mother. There are very few women who can, and men who can marry someone who is older and wiser and not have them act like they're older and wiser. That's my opinion. Y'all let me know y'all's downtown in the comment section. I have dated older men and they have tried to be my daddy and they was out like like I don't need to be fathered. I had a father, right, that lived in the house with me. You know what I mean? And I've never like, dating a guy who felt like he needed to father me in any way. Like that was just a no-no. Like we not doing that. I'm at the level that I'm supposed to be at my age. I think that I'm intelligent and I'm grown enough. If I'm out with you, I'm grown enough to make my own decisions and I don't need to be fathered and I don't need you to educate me, right? Like that's not going to work in any relationship that I found myself in the past and it won't be like that in any relationship I find myself in the future. Like I think that we are on equal footing. Wisdom is given, right, in a way that is, I don't know, let me just get off of that. But I just see how Smith feels like Jenny is being a mother for him. But if he's acting immaturely and he's acting irresponsible, and she's got to be the one that deals with him during a hangover and all of that kind of stuff, then that is a absolutely a problem. Shekinah and they all leave and go home for the evening. Kara wants Guillermo to be attracted to her. He absolutely has no sexual attraction to her whatsoever. Y'all let me know what y'all think downtown in the chat. But from what I see, he is absolutely is not physically attracted to her at all. He didn't even want to sleep in the bed with her. The only reason why he did not sleep on the sofa was because it was cold and he didn't have a blanket. She is extremely immature, in my opinion. And I mean, when I say immature, I'm talking about she is immature. She is on OnlyFans and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, when you are a wife, unless you and your partner are in this together, like, is it Ice T and his wife, right? He doesn't mind, not Ice Cube, but Ice T. He doesn't mind his wife breast being all out. Like, there's certain men who don't mind that, but they are thinking about it as a business. It is so obvious that Guillermo doesn't like to share his wife private parts with the world. And so from me, I don't think that he's attracted to her. I think that she's attracted to him, but only in a way where she wants to bring him in. These are my opinions, by the way. She wants to bring him in, but she wants him to be jealous too. She wants her cake and eat it too. She wants to be flirtatious. She wants to be admired. You know, like Pamela Anderson. She wants all of that. And she is just not working for her husband. And she has not been able to put that childish horse type behavior behind her, and she absolutely needs to, because this is not what he's looking for in a wife. I think that he is trying to negotiate his way through the custody situation with the little boy, but I see that this is why he is even trying to, this is my opinion, y'all let me know y'all's. I think that he is trying to navigate through this so that he can still have his son. I don't know where he is in the green card visa part, right? But I think that this is why Guillermo is staying around with her. Okay. Like, it's just a hot mess. So Patrick and his wife, Patrick thinks that his wife is cheating. Period. Period. He said that she went home to Brazil. She from Brazil, y'all. She went home and he said she goes ghost. He can't contact her. He had mentioned that there was $2,000 that was missing from the account that she had spent unaccounted for. They asked him, did he know what it was about? He said no. And she come to find out she went and had liposuction on her back. And he didn't even notice that his wife had a thinner back, that it was swollen, that it was red. He didn't know anything. I think he's just one of those type of dudes that, you know, it's like, wake me when you're done, because you're the only one having fun. He wants to, you know, get at it, but he's getting at it for his satisfaction and not thinking about how she's going to feel about it. Because how do you lay in the bed with somebody that you love, right? And you don't notice that they got holes and the stuff draining out their back, and even that is slimmer. Like, he's just, to me, he's just out of touch with what's going on with his wife. And because he has low self-esteem and he's insecure and he feels like he brought and paid for her, because that's how I feel about it. I feel like he brought and paid for her. He wanted to brag about the fact that they had moved 4 different times, that they had been in 4 different places. As y'all remember, when we first met Patrick, he was doing pretty good. She didn't know a whole lot of stuff, right? And she still is, you know, kind of a little out of touch and doesn't seem to catch on very quickly. And I said it in a nice way. So y'all need to go ahead and give me a round of applause, because I said that in a real nice way. Because it was so much I wanted to say that I just did not say just now. Let me pat myself on the back, because I'm trying to tell you, I was so nice the way I said that. I was nice the way I laid that out. Anyway, Patrick, he just seems like he's very insecure, and she seems like she's kind of low. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not working out in this relationship between the two of them. There were so many things that were said. Thank y'all for the applause. Thank y'all. Yes, I'm going to tell you the saddest couple that was up there, in my opinion. Paola. Paola should not have done that. The way that she handled Russ. Let me tell you something. This was a broke girl in Colombia. This man was working, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in the oil rigs. He had a very lucrative job. He brought this woman over here. She didn't have shit. If you all remember, when we first saw this couple, she was barely making it. Even when she got here to the United States, she wanted to do modeling gigs and stuff like that. She wasn't what they were looking for. This man supported her and everything. And now the shoe was on the other foot. And she basically don't want to. Did she say she felt like she was like a cow? She said that he's been laid off 3 times from 3 different companies. And now she's the main breadwinner. And she don't want to do nothing with him. She don't want to take care of him. She tired of him. She tired of being the breadwinner because now she's doing wrestling. When Russ took care of her for years. Oh, what a tangle web we weave. She don't want that man at all. And if she did, she wouldn't have her 6-year-old son laying in bed with them. Russ said his son sleeps with them. He's 6. I think it's something wrong with that. Me, myself, and I probably would just be calling social services. Because he's too old to be in that bed with them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's petty, but that ain't how I grew up. You're not 6 years old in your parents' bed. And she's doing it to avoid being with him. I think that she said she's with him. She just like lays like, what did Patrick say? She lays like a starfish. That's so embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. And he wants his wife. He wants to be with his wife. Rebecca and Zeb, what is their issue, y'all? That she old and jealous? She thinks that he's cheated. Matter of fact, she knows that he's cheated. Let me tell you something. This is my philosophy on cheating. And I know everybody ain't cut from the same cloth. But the moment that I think you cheating, I'm out. And here's why. When I was in my, God, was I in my 20s? I had a girlfriend who was suspecting that her husband was cheating, right? Because I always hung around older women. She was suspecting her husband was cheating, but she wouldn't leave him. She found out that her husband was cheating, and she did not leave him. And then she was acting weird, and the question was finally asked, what's wrong? This man who she could have left, right? This was a lesson for me. I was young. She could have left him. Should have left him. Running up in people's houses fighting. All of us was fighting. I'm just saying. And the next thing you know, she got HIV. And from that, in a young, impressionable woman, I was like, if I ever think that I'm with a man who's cheating, if it's ever confirmed that he's cheating, one or the other, I'm out. Because the devastation for me as a young woman of her getting AIDS, she got HIV. This was back in the day. So y'all know she not still here. Because this is when the epidemic was just starting. They didn't have all of this stuff that they have now. At the time when I was growing up and it was an epidemic, it was a death sentence. It was a death sentence. Y'all got to remember how old I am. It was a death sentence back then. 70, 80. It's a death sentence. And she was gone. It wasn't like that. But trying experimental drugs, doing all kinds of stuff to preserve her life. When she found out that he was cheating, she should have left. And ever since then, that has left a mark on my life and on my soul. That if I ever think that this is going on, I'm out. I'm not giving second chances. And he oh my God, he's my husband. Oh, I love him. What about the kids? No. What about the kids is me getting up out of here, making sure I go and get my test done. And one positive test is not enough. You need to go back to 6 months and get another. Like I'm not gonna be sitting on a show saying I think he cheating. I call him at a hotel. He was at a hotel. She says he was at a hotel with a woman. What you say, baby? Auntie, I had a friend before phone pics days. Her boyfriend in a bar. I popped up and called my friend. That's how Simone. What you saying, baby? She said I was little when it was going on. The 81 and I'm 44 now. Yeah. It used to be a death sentence. And she's sitting up there playing back and forth with this man. I'm out. I am out. Jenny and Sumit, I don't know why they did, other than I think that they wanted to give him some money. Because they don't have no real problems. Especially given the fact that we know she has ALS. Sumit staying with that story that he lost his job. I think that they're taking care of Jenny. And I said that before. I believe that the reason why Jenny and Sumit are back with the parents because he needs that extra help to help take care of his wife. Does he have a drinking problem? It appears that he does. It appears that he does. It appears that he does. But as we all know, Patrick and his wife, he done filed for a divorce from her. She had DV charges that was filed against her that was later dropped. So we know that they're seriously going through, a divorce. I don't know about the other ones, but we'll find out. If I had to rate this show on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, hold on. Let me see what y'all will rate it. Let me give y'all a poll before I give y'all mine. Hold on, let me see what y'all at. What y'all? Let me see what y'all will rate it. I thought that this show started off okay. It was, more of an introduction. Um, it was more of an introduction to us to just kind of see about the bull crap. Um, I think it's going to be one of those shows where we're going to be picking sides. We're going to be picking sides. So far we have 27% um, of the people saying it was 5 stars. 2 stars is 27% as well. 3 stars is at 36% at 22 votes. Mary Heatley said it was just okay, nothing spectacular. I agree. I totally agree. Karen Kirkton at 932 said no care. No, it's definitely science was the best line. Maria Weir said that's why I can't get into it because it's playing out in real time on the internet. Let me see how many more votes. We got 28 more votes. So I'm going to hit it right here and I will put the results in and I'll tell y'all what I think and what I would rate it. What would you rate this show? Coming in tied was 2 stars and 4 stars at 28% of the vote. Right? No, 5 stars and 2 stars came in at 28% of the vote. 4 stars came at 7%, and 3 stars came in at 37% of the vote. Y'all rated it 3 stars. I rated it 2. I rated it 2 stars. I didn't think it was that great. And I think the reason why I didn't think it was that great is because I don't like manufactured arguments or situations where you're manufacturing an argument. Um, I thought that the dumb ass question that Shekinah came in with was manufactured to cause some type of rift between her and Lady T. I did not like that. I did not like the fact that Sarper went to Patrick, coincidentally, the husband of the wife, with the ears comment. I thought it was very manufactured to start drama. And I don't like stuff like that. I think that Cara and Guillermo have already decided on what this is going to be between the two of them. I don't really think there's a real beef between them. I just really don't, y'all. I think that is absolutely manufactured. Rebecca and Zaid, if she could, she alluded to the fact that she knew that this was going to be filmed in the UK and in the castle. Then why she don't know what's going on with her husband? If she is a private eye, like she says she is, she should be able to find out exactly what's going on with her husband. I think Paola and Russ really do have some problems. Do I think that they are solvable? Absolutely not. I think that she has said that she's done with this relationship and she don't have any respect for him. She lays down like a starfish when she has to be with him. That relationship is already finished. It's already done. So I gave it a 2 star because it's so manufactured, or at least it appeared to be that way to me. Now I'm hoping that it gets better. I'm hoping it gets better, but I don't know. One of the things that I have been thinking about doing, right, is doing a rewind, going all the way back to season 1, episode 1 of 90 Day Fiance. I have covered this show from season 1, episode 1. And many of those videos are now in archive. But I really have been thinking about going back, especially for those who have not been watching it since day one, A1. And I think that through the reviews, we'll be able to see how this show has changed over the years. Even the caliber of cast members they pick. Everybody is almost a carbon copy of someone else. They really are. Because even when I think about what is her name? Oh my goodness, what is her name? Oh, I can't think of her name. But she's with Mido. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Who is the woman that's with Mido that wants to go to Hollywood? She is a carbon copy of Danielle and Mohammed. It's the same thing where he could not kiss her on his wedding day because of some holiday. Like, they're a carbon copy. It's just more ratchet than it was. Yes, Debbie. Thank you, y'all. I've really been thinking about doing a rewind and going all the way back to season 1, episode 1. Because this has changed so much. And the people, that's why I think that I was interested in this, was because they went back to Paola they went back to Paola and Russ. I was very interested in seeing them. I was even interested in seeing Rebecca and Zed until she came on there and was like, um, Sarper had said something. She jumped in it, on behalf of Shekinah, and then Shekinah said, "Don't talk to my man like that." I said, "What?" I know you. Mhm. Yes, that makes sense. Mary said that would be interesting because it has changed so much, but the same, if that makes sense. It really has changed since I've been covering. I know that I've been covering it differently. And I'm wondering, when was the season when I started saying this stuff is fake? Because at first, what went on with Danielle and Muhammad was not fake. What went on with was her name Nicole and Ozon wasn't fake. I'm telling you, there was so much that was not fake. Like, this stuff was real. But I think people now just want to be on the show. Anyway, I ain't gonna hold y'all no longer. I gotta go to work and y'all do too. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this downtown in the chat. Next week I'll make sure I have their little photos up here so that we can talk about it. Love y'all. Bye.